Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
2024.
Yes, wow. When did that happen?
It only was a couple of months ago, but it feels like, that we're already halfway through the year. So we've got off to a busy start to the year. That's why we're a little bit late in getting our first podcast out, but we've been busy.
Yes, we have.
Doing opposite ends of the spectrum, really.
Completely opposite, but probably not surprising for a lot of people who listen to us, really, is it? So I went away for a couple of weeks to a detox and wellness centre in Phuket in Thailand. And basically I paid money to not eat anything. So now people will find that strange, but I think once you understand the program and what it does for you and how it resets your body, because a lot of women find it's the only way, because we all talk about doing this at home,
Yes.
Oh, we'll drink more water or we'll have juices, we'll eat more food, we'll fast, we'll do all that. But of course, modern life, stress, parties, functions, all that tends to get in the way. So anyway, I was with a girlfriend who needed a major reset and she asked me if I wanted to come along. Well, hell yes, of course. I'd jump into something like that. And it was a really great experience. So, we both lost a few kilos. That's the side benefit. And it's not about that. It was about resetting yourself. It was about going, you know what, I don't have any distractions. I don't have any interruptions and I can do this. And basically we fasted just on water for a week and then went back onto raw juices. Raw juices are raw, aren't they, really? And raw food. And I'm still doing it all this time later. So I'm still following that protocol and feeling, such a world of difference. And one of the biggest things my girlfriend noticed was that she doesn't have any more hot flushes. So it reset her hormones because you're basically moving everything out of your body and your body has an opportunity to work the way it should, and she's having no more menopause symptoms.
Look, fasting has been done since the dawn of time in every religion, through every continent in the world, for health benefits. They weren't done for any other. There's good English, and they weren't done. They weren't practiced for any other reason than health benefits.
Exactly.
It's always been about resetting, really resetting the brain, because it's the brain that then trickles down to the rest of the body that gives the health benefits. It's resetting the brain to heal. And so it is, you are quite right. It is fascinating how we will pay a huge amount of money to go away and for someone to literally, starve us. But it's because it's so hard to hold yourself accountable.
It is.
Like the personal motivation and conviction to do this on your own.
It is a mindset. And even over there, it was a mindset, especially the first 2 days, because you're having a bit of a detox, kind of,
The headaches. The headache.
And that finished on the second day. And by the second night, I just had this massive turnaround, and then the clarity came, the energy came back. And obviously we didn't do a lot of exercise because you are fasting. It's a time for your body to rest and digest.
Yep.
So this sort of, goes well with what we're going to speak about today. But I can't praise it enough. If you really need a reset to go and do something like that, take yourself out of your current lifestyle that continues to propel you down the wrong path. Because if you there were ladies there that they were there for a month, not necessarily fasting the whole time. They would then go on to the juice or the raw food program, and they also had a fitness program. So many reasons to go there. But it was absolutely fantastic.
You find people that have quite severe health issues will do that longer.
And lots of the women there did, and a lot of them were always so a lot of them were people who had been there before and were coming back, sometimes fourth or fifth time.
Wow.
And every day, don't think you're just sitting around just drinking, sipping water. It's not like that. You're having massages, you're having foot detox baths, you're having magnesium baths, you're having steam baths, ice plunges, all that sort of stuff. So lots of good reasons to have a reset.
Oh, good. Well, while you were doing that, I was doing the opposite.
Yeah.
However, I did kind of get to. I read a really interesting article. I've been following an interesting doctor on YouTube, in America called Dr. Mary Claire. And I recently have teamed up with Mary Strong, as you know, who has a strong formula program, and it's all about exercising and building that muscle strength and mass, and the importance of it during menopause.
Yes.
And it's so easy to say, we should exercise it, and we should exercise it, all throughout our life, and it's important for this, it's important for that. But when you actually deep dive down, which is what we're going to do today, into the importance of exercising during menopause, when we say to you, it is literally life-saving. Exercise is literally a life-saving event during menopause, and it's something that you just have to do. We just have to do.
Mental, emotional, and lots of other body functions that we'll talk about.
Absolutely. So we'll dive into it. So first of all, we all know that what menopause is. It's the decline of estrogen and blah blah blah. But what we've got to talk about today is, everyone knows that going through menopause is the decline of estrogen, but they don't understand. Well, they're like, well, so what? What does that mean? So let's talk about what it means. One of the first things that I learned about this is that estrogen is a blanket anti-inflammatory. So
we need estrogen for our body to function. It just has to be in the right balance. And this is what women don't understand, is with the different types of estrogen, they all contribute to that hormonal balance that dance simultaneously with things like progesterone and testosterone. And it's never just one, because when one is out of balance, there's usually another one out of balance. So it is a constant, dance. It's like a symphony, and everything has to come together for it to work beautifully together. And the sooner you get onto it, the better too. Before women go, oh, I've been suffering for 10 years. Well, oh, please, why? Why have you been suffering for 10 years?
I know.
Get onto it.
Yeah, absolutely. So exercise is a strategy for coping with menopause. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why is it important?
So many I know we always say there's so many reasons, but from a physical benefit, obviously it's good for muscle mass, bone density, resistance training, flexibility, sleep.
We were just talking about that.
Talking about sleep.
I haven't slept the best in the last 18 months as I have done in the last 6 weeks. I've got a personal trainer twice a week now. Excuse me, and I'm going to the gym another 3 times during the week. What a difference! Not just my mental clarity, but my I've got to say cognitive health. But I feel stronger. I feel fitter. My skin is glowing. I've got more energy, and I'm sleeping.
Yes, sleeping is a really big side benefit of good exercise. And for those women who are just starting out, it's a really good idea after dinner to go out for a little walk after dinner and just get the rest of that energy out, but it will also help you get into a deeper sleep.
So one of the facts that I've got here about heart health, you know how I said exercise can literally change your life, literally save your life rather. It's because in women it is the #1 cause of death. Heart disease.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
I know most people think it's cancer, but it's actually heart disease.
And postmenopausal women, we are at even a higher risk due to the hormonal changes. Yep.
So really important you get that blood pumping through our cardiovascular system.
Yep.
And remember, our heart is a muscle, just like every other muscle in our body. So it's really important that we exercise that muscle, and it's an exchange of oxygen, it's exchange of fluid, it's an exchange of blood. There is so much that goes on that is so important. So being sedentary, the stats now, I think we're just
they're mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. 70% of people are obese and overweight. They said, I think by 2030 it'll be something like 80% of us, more than 1 in 2.
I wrote some down because I know that you love facts and information.
Because it's startling, and maybe sometimes we need to shock people into making changes.
I've been been working around menopause for the last 3 years, and I'm still absolutely shocked at some of the stats because obviously new studies are coming out all the time. So the skeletal muscle protects your heart in a number of ways, including improving blood sugar management and metabolic health. So that has a lot to do with weight loss and hormonal weight gain.
Insulin resistance, ladies. So one of the biggest things, I think, from the fasting that I took away, and what most of the ladies there noticed who were doing the programs, is sugar. Insulin resistance and sugar. Glucose will drive your hormones. It will drive, insulin to be released from the pancreas. So then you go into a sugar low, and then you have something sugar, it goes back up. So your body's forever trying to seesaw and regulate this insulin in your body. Sugar is a really, really big no-no for, well, anyone of any age, but in particular for menopause. It causes real havoc.
How's this one? Strength training also helps preserve your bone health, which is so important because here's a really interesting fact, ladies. Listen up. 80% of the 10 million Americans with osteoporosis are women. 80%. Right, and 1 in 2 women over the age of 50 will break a bone because of dangerously low bone mineral density.
Yes, and that might be another podcast where we talk about how we get our bone density, because everybody thinks it's from consuming milk. But I can also tell you the stats that the countries with the highest rates of osteoporosis are the highest consuming countries of dairy.
Which is the West.
Yeah, which is the West. And it's not about just hardening bones either. It's about building bone matrix.
Yes.
So it is that inside the bones, not just hardening the bones. Because what happens if you've just got hard bones and you're not building bone matrix, so you're not building a solid base, if you break a bone, there's nothing there for the bone to knit back together. So you're just trying to put two hollow pieces together. And of course, this is why bones get really brittle and age. So resistance training, weight training,
and
using your own body weight.
Mark was telling me this morning, our personal trainer, he said the reason that he's chosen the exercises that he has is because I'm a woman in her 50s, perimenopausal, and he understands the importance of building that skeletal muscle and that bone strength, that bone density, really to protect my life. This again goes back to being a life-saving measure. Yeah.
And again, calcium and magnesium are two really closely related minerals that our body requires for relaxation and contraction. Again, between bone health and heart health, because the heart requires both those minerals in order for it to relax and contract, of course, because that's what the heart's doing. It's pumping, right? It's a muscle that has to work like that all the time. Calcium, magnesium, super, super important for those two to happen. The right form of calcium, preferably from food sources, is what you need. And then, of course, magnesium, which we do promote a lot for that relaxation. Yes. And then that leads on to, why women need magnesium, a lot of it for stress related, right? So exercise, cut the stress.
The magnesium, I cannot support you enough and praise magnesium enough. Now, for someone like me that suffers from restless leg syndrome, like I've had it since I was 13.
Yeah, we hear about it.
Yeah. But when I was younger, it was really violent.
It's quite debilitating.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were some mornings I'd wake up and I literally would feel like I've kicked my hip out of my socket. But as I kind of have got older, it stayed. I've never got rid of it.
You just manage it.
But now it's just but I get it in both my arms and my legs, and it's been very manageable. Yeah. But of course, I've started going to the gym, and I'm really pushing myself, and then all of a sudden I was finding that my restless legs and arms at night were I could feel like that stronger twitch and that
getting
worse and worse. And then I realised, because I am pushing myself so hard, I'm sweating, I'm probably mineral depleted right now.
Yes.
And I couldn't sleep, and it took me a couple of weeks for it to kind of dawn on me, why was my restless legs becoming so bad? And again I realised because it was the magnesium.
Magnesium, so important for men and women, not just menopausal women, but especially if you're living in a hot, sweaty climate like we are at the moment, and you're not drinking enough. Magnesium and calcium do this beautiful dance in our body for relaxation, contraction. It's for cardiovascular health. It helps our heart pump, also helps our muscles pump. So when you are exercising and sweating, your body is using up magnesium stores. So it's really important to replenish that.
But what's really good, I think the good part of the story is the ultra magnesium. It's instant. Yes. It's instant. As soon as I recognised that I was lacking in magnesium, magnesium. I took it that night and I was fine.
Yeah.
So as long as I
works straight
take
away.
it, it is. It's not one of those things that you have to take for 30 days and wait for your body to get used to it. No, it is absolutely instant. And I tell you now, ladies, if you're doing any kind of exercise, you need to be taking the magnesium. It is literally life changing.
Put it in your water bottle. You can take it with you. Take it to work. You know, you can have an extra dose at night before you go to bed. It'll help you sleep.
I do. I swear. I absolutely swear by it now. Yep, I do that in the Menopause sleep. Right. But yes, so if you're exercising, you know, it's more because I have restless leg syndrome. It displays in a more physical way when I'm depleted. Whereas, but as generally, like if you don't have a symptom like mine, you're not going to know. But trust me when I say you are being depleted.
And sometimes you don't know the difference until you take it.
Yeah. That's incredibly right.
Try it.
I want to move on to something else that I have found that's been really interesting as well from Dr. Mary Claire. And this also comes back to exercising as well, because exercising really is prevention. But it is about frozen shoulders. Now, and it's quite interesting. So we've all heard the term frozen soldier, frozen shoulder, but what is it really? You know, it's a stiffness, it's a pain in the shoulder, but it literally means what it is. It freezes the shoulder.
Let me tell you about frozen shoulder. So I don't think all the girls in the office know, but for the last 5 months I've been suffering with a really restricted shoulder movement. Not quite sure what it is. I'm actually going for a scan tomorrow to find out, so I know how to deal with it. That's the first thing with anything, ladies. You know, don't leave things too long. Find out what you're dealing with so you have the right treatment. So what's happened, I was moving, you know, probably some heavy furniture in a trailer at the time, which may have triggered either I've torn my rotator cuff, which has created this frozen shoulder, which means I have very restricted movement to put my arm behind my back. Putting even a top over my head is really painful. I can't play tennis, which I love. I can't swim properly because I can't move. I don't have the rotation of my shoulder at the moment in my right arm. And it is excruciating when I do a movement that I shouldn't do or that is overextended for my normal shoulder movement. It basically radiates this incredible pain from my shoulder joint right through to my elbow, and it cripples me, absolutely cripples me. It's been going on for 5 months now, and obviously while I was away and having massages every day, it was fantastic, and I was getting that movement back because it was loosening up the whole shoulder joint. But you know, you can afford it when massages are $8 and for an hour in Thailand.
Well, the thing about frozen shoulder up until now, it's just been, you know, it's not been attributed to anything. But because, you know, menopause over the last few years has become a more open topic for conversation, it's becoming more research, there's more focus groups, etc., etc. And what we've now come to realise is that it is a lot more common in women of menopausal age than any other age group. And the new research suggests that this is because, once again, the decline of estrogen in the body. And again, estrogen being that natural anti-inflammatory, which would normally protect us, you know, from that.
So I've also gone and had a blood test yesterday. So that's another thing, because for that reason, just to see, okay, what's happening with my hormones? And you can look at me and go, oh yeah, you're fit and healthy and all that. But just because you're skinny doesn't mean everything's going 100%.
And I'm going to give you some other scary facts about the frozen shoulder. Sorry, because this is the part that might be fun to you. But it also goes to show, once again, the importance of exercising, strength training, bone density. So the freezing process, as it's called, that can take from about 6 weeks to 6 months for the shoulder to start to freeze. That's when you just start to see probably what
that's where I am.
That's literally where you are right now.
Stage,
Now, once it freezes, that can last from 6 months, but more commonly up to 2 years.
It's horrible.
Right? So we've got the freezing process, the frozen process, and then what they call the thawing process. Now, ladies, listen up. That's 2 years of therapy, or physiotherapy, or some kind of like motion therapy, exercising. It's 2 years, up to 2 years, to unthaw a frozen shoulder.
So I'm really hoping that the scan tomorrow will show that I'm obviously in this freezing stage, and the fact that I've had so much massage and therapy on it already that it hasn't moved into that frozen stage, because it's not frozen as such. It is freezing. It's restricted, but it's not frozen. And so, but I'm still looking at long term, I think, movement, exercise, and some sort of physio and massage and acupuncture, whatever it takes to get it moving again. Yeah, it's a long road, and it's funny. It's something I think it's genetic in my family too, because my father had both frozen shoulders, really bad. Suffered for many, many years too. Because remember, hormones affect men as well.
Yep.
You know, it's not just women. So men have hormones.
So it's interesting because pretty much everything that we've spoke about, like with the exercise and the strength training, but it still comes back to inflammation in the body.
Yes.
Everything. You know, they say 98% of all disease is caused by inflammation in the body. And one of Dr. Mary Claire, one of the reasons that she's so famous is that she created the Galveston nutrition program, which essentially is an anti-inflammatory food program. But here's another fun fact. Did you know you can actually...
She's full of them today.
You can get a qualification in culinary medicine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Rather than people just making up these diets and just chucking out books and that, like to actually have an accredited qualification in culinary medicine.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. But the Galveston nutrition program is essentially a diet based around anti-inflammatory foods, and you and I talk about this all the time
because we love our turmeric. And one thing I am taking a lot of is turmeric, so maybe that has helped me as well. I think. One thing I just want to step in about inflammation, because there's a couple of schools of thought, and yes, inflammation is an indicator that there's something going wrong, but inflammation also serves a positive process in the body. So, for instance, if you cut yourself, and around a cut it will sort of go red and inflamed, like it'll rise up and it'll be a bit sore, especially paper cuts. They're a shocker. They're the worst. But that inflammation is there because your body is then sending in the nutrition, the nourishment, the cells that it needs to go and fix it.
Yep.
So inflammation is a good thing too, but it's also a great indicator to go, hey, this needs some attention. So, without inflammation, how would we know that we've injured or hurt ourselves and we require attention?
You're quite right,
so
yes.
It's a twofold thing. Like, there's good and bad with everything, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
so our takeaways.
I just wanted to quickly just talk about stress and exercise and how important exercise is for stress, because stress affects so much of how we manage through menopause. It not only affects your estrogen, progesterone and testosterone levels, and cortisol is very high, but cortisol remains high in our bodies when we're in a high stress state and when we're not exercising. So exercise is the perfect way to reduce cortisol in the body. They say when you're in a really anxious or stressed state, you should do 10 jumping jacks, because that just takes it out of your system straight away. So next time you're stressed, you look like an idiot, but hey, who cares? Doesn't matter, do your jumping jacks. So really important, because when you are in a high stress state, it's not only going to affect your physical and emotional health, but it's also going to affect your adrenal health, because that's where the hormones, cortisol and adrenaline are being pumped from, but also your thyroid health. And we know how important your thyroid health is for regulating body temperature and lots of other things that are going on in your body. So don't forget about, I suppose, the importance of managing stress in your life, ladies. Really, really important.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed that. I've actually found we've learned a lot of stuff along the way. So,
and I suppose it's a message for women: find the exercise that you love.
Yeah.
Find what is it like you're loving your weight training.
Yeah, but I would not be able to do it without a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I just would not like. I'd go there and go 1, 2, 3. Okay, done enough now. He's there and he's like, come on, Kirsty. He's going up to do like 30 reps, and I'm like, I was crying this morning. I'm like, you're pushing me too hard.
It doesn't have to be painful.
But I wouldn't do that without someone. So I think it's if you are able to, I think it's really good to start with a personal trainer for the first 6 weeks, because that's what gets you into the habit. You then start to enjoy it. You then you're starting to see results by that stage. Yep, absolutely. And then
join up with a girlfriend, maybe. Find someone else who's in the same position as you, because keeping each other accountable is also really important.
I mean, I'm not suggesting I'm going to be, in a bodybuilding competition in 12 months' time, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah. So whether it's resistance training, which is really important, you know, swimming, cycling, walking, if you like running, whatever it is, do something that you love every day because it's going to have benefits on your entire body.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So get moving, ladies.
Yep, I hope that spurred some of you on to do some strength and resistance training.
Yes.
Until next time.
Until next time. Okay, cheers.